Today we're going to begin working with a simple control structure known as the if-else structure. The if-else structure controls conditional execution within a Java program. So we're going to create a JCreator project by going to File, New, and Project. This is going to be just a basic application. Next. And we're just going to call it Example. Okay, of course you would come in and make your changes to the standard documentation. And we're going to come in here. Okay, if-elses are what we call conditional execution, which means code is executed based on a condition. The condition always takes the form of a Boolean expression, and a Boolean expression is going to be something that evaluates to true or false. So what we would have is, let's do the basic structure. Let's do int x equals 5. So get a couple of variables to work with, and then we're going to start with the if structure. The if structure is going to look like this. And the extension of the if structure is the else structure. And we'll talk about what happens if in a little bit. What we will have right here is if something is equal to another value, then what we can do is execute a piece of code. So we'll say if x is greater than 0, so what would happen here is that if x is greater than 0, we're going to print the line which would have the value of x is followed by a literal which says is a positive number. So we're going to take this out and we're going to run this and see what it looks like. So we'll build. Oh. And we see that we caught a syntax error. I need a semicolon right there. And then we will run. 5, the value of x is 5, so 5 is greater than 0. That's a true value, so this statement is executed. Okay, we're going to change the value of x to -5, rebuild, and run. And you can see that nothing actually happens because at this point x -5 is less than 0 evaluates to false, so this code is not executed at all. Okay, if we want to have alternative code which will handle what happens when when that value is false, we would say something like this. Okay, so -5 is not a positive number. We can see that since this evaluates to false, the else case is executed. Okay, some things that we can, now that we have this basic structure down, we can talk about. If you can have an if structure without the corresponding else structure, what would happen is if the condition evaluates to false, it would just go to the next, to whatever follows it in the code. If you have a single line of code as part of the case, these brackets are unnecessary. You don't have to have them. They don't hurt anything if they're there, which is why I like to include them. But this will actually execute just as well. So you would get that like so. But just for consistency's sake, I like to include them, and then that way, if you need them, they're there. And that is just a really very simple beginning primer on how to use the if-else structure in Java.